All right, here's a quick video to review some of the factoring. I'm definitely not doing all these examples, but this was typed out from another class. So it was a good chance to review. So the first type of factoring we did was taking out the greatest common factor. So if you look at example 2, the GCF is the largest number that you can divide both of them by, which in this case would be 3. So you're going to write the GCF out here and then put a parentheses. 3x squared divided by 3 is x squared minus 9 divided by 3 is 3. And there's your answer. Okay, over here on number 5, well, actually, let's do number 6. On number 6, the greatest common factor you can take out the numbers is 4. Okay, but we can also take out an x. I can also take out 2 x's. I can't take out more than that because this one only has 2 x's to give. So we're going to write our parentheses. 12 divided by 4 is 3. We have 2 x's, they cancel. Minus 8 divided by 4 is 2. And then here there's 4 x's and we take away 2, so there's just 2 left. Now remember that factoring is undoing multiplication. So if we wanted to, and we're not going to, but if we wanted to, we can multiply this back out and we should get the answer that we started with. That's true for every factoring problem that we have. All right, the first pattern that we learned, or one of the first patterns, was difference of squares. So it's got to be a minus sign. And we have to have the two terms. Here's the 1, 2, and it's got to be a binomial. And when that's the case, and it's a binomial, there's a minus sign, and I can take the square root of both. We went straight to our two parentheses. The square root of x squared was x. The square root of 25 is 5, and one's plus and one's minus. So on this one, square root of 121 is 11, so it's going to be x plus 11, x minus 11. Over here, still works the same way. But the square root of 4x squared is 2x. Square root of 49 is 7. One's plus, one's minus. This one works the same way, but you got to write it in the same order. Square root of 144 is 12. Square root of x squared is x. One's plus, one's minus. So one pattern is taking out the greatest common factor. Another is the difference of squares. And the other pattern that's going to be in your homework and that we've done was a trinomial. So now it's got 1, 2, 3 terms, and the leading coefficient is this invisible 1. And so when that's the case, we go straight to our two parentheses, and we're looking for an x, and we write x and x. So that multiplies back out and multiplied x squared. And now we're going to look for two numbers that multiply to 8 and add to 6. Well, this time those two numbers would be 2 and 4. Okay, if we trade it again over here, we go to x and x, and we want two numbers that multiply to 10 and add to 7. So those numbers would be 5 and 2. If I try this one down here, I need two numbers that multiply to a negative 20. So that means one's going to be plus and one's going to be minus. Okay, and they're going to add to negative 6. So when you add them with opposite signs, you're really subtracting. So two numbers that subtract, I said negative 6, but I meant 8. So multiply to 20 and add to 8. Well, 4 and 5 don't work, but 2 and 10 do. So if I make the 10 negative and the 2 positive, when I add negative 10 plus positive 2, that equals negative 8. And when I do negative 10 times positive 2, that gives me negative 20. That's what I'm looking for. Those are my two numbers. All right, so hopefully that review helps, and you can try practicing a few of those, and then class will take this further.